Hey there, bloomers and friends. I am so happy to be with you. This is the first Bloom Tube for 2019. So we've got 50 some more of these to go, and we're starting the year off right. We're glad to be with you. I wonder if you enjoyed Pet Blessing Home Edition as last week's Bloom Tube. That was really something, and it was great to be able to have that experience that we had in the worship service be transformed into the home edition. And you can see that, as I said, in the worship service, people could take the blessing home and do that with their own pets, and we saw a great example of that happening right there with Russ and Steve. And so we're thankful for their giving us that blessing as they blessed their furry kids at home. This Sunday in the Christian calendar is what we're calling Epiphany Sunday. Epiphany is actually January 6th. That is the 12th day of Christmas. That is the period of time we call in between Christmas and Epiphany is called Christmastide. And it is celebrated as the recognition of the time when what have been in the past called Three Kings, the arrival of the wise persons, the magi, the visitors from the east. It's when that time is celebrated. Now, they didn't arrive 12 days after Jesus was born. This is all a calendar that is put together by the church leaders of the past, ancient church decision makers, in order to have some sort of liturgical sense of telling the story. In truth, it's understood that all of these manger scenes or creches that we see around town that have got the shepherds on one side and the wise guys on the other side is actually a complete fabrication, because it didn't happen that way. Most likely, it is understood by historians that these visitors probably showed up as much as almost 2 years later. And that's thought by the fact that Herod ordered that all children under the age of 2 would be killed when he had become jealous that this new king had been born. And that's the Bible story you can look up. And that was also the motivation then for Mary and Joseph and Jesus, after the warning of Joseph by an angel, to escape and take the long journey and escape into Egypt for a period of time. There's all sorts of liturgical, theological, biblical kinds of reasons for that story being told, and I'm not going to get into that now. In fact, I probably delved into it a lot deeper than I need to. But feel free to ask me questions, and we can always talk about it. What I do mean to convey is that makes this being Epiphany Sunday that we're celebrating at Bloom, it means that we will be doing our Star Sunday, our Star Word Sunday that we started 3 years ago, and I can give evidence to that by the fact that I have my 3 star words here. Was that one? Yep, that was upside right. My 3 star words here from each of the years, from 2016, 2017, and 2018. My very first one was persistence, and that certainly was appropriate to me at that time and the kinds of things that we're trying to do in our lives. My second word was shepherding, and that really fit me, and I was surprised to get that. And my third word was favor. And it's hard for me. It's so obvious. Persistence and shepherding are so obvious as to what they could be in my life as your pastor, as a clergy person. But I have to say that favor is a hard one to embrace. Do I get favor? Am I supposed to favor someone? Am I giving favor in some way that I'm doing? Favor. That's a word, do people favor me? That's not a word I spend a lot of time with, and so it has been really kind of challenging to me to figure out how this word happens in my life. Now, those who have done this before know that these words are not words that I chose. They're words that came up randomly when I just picked a star out of a pocket, out of a pile, or I was handed a star, however that worked in the worship service. And it's just a way to have something to accompany you throughout the year in order for you to see how it brings meaning to your life, as well as how it might unfold something in your life that you haven't thought about before. So that's Epiphany Star Sunday. That's what happens. People get these stars, and you have that for the year. We're going to hear from 4 people about what their words were, and they share that. That's always been a very meaningful time in our worship service, and as people express their faith in that way, pertaining to the word that they received in a previous time. And it's also, as we know, first Sunday of the month, so it'll also be Communion Sunday. So I look forward to finding out what my word is going to be for 2019. Let's all have an epiphany together, come to a greater sense of light and understanding. If you can't be with us in body, please be with us in spirit. And as always, please keep us in your prayers.